Today I'm going to show you exactly how to build a client onboarding workflow in Zapier. You've got a client intake form, and instead of doing all the follow-up manually, you can automate the whole thing. Let's jump in. So we're already signed into Zapier. The dashboard is right here. Click Create in the upper left corner, then Zaps. The blank Zap editor opens and we land on the trigger step. First, we need to pick where new clients actually come from. Click the trigger step, search for the app you use for intake. I'm using Typeform here, but this works the same way with Google Forms, Jotform, Calendly, whatever you have connected. Select your app, then choose the trigger event, new form submission, or new record if it's a database. Click Continue, connect your account if Zapier asks, then pick the specific form and hit Continue again. At this point, I always check that my form has all the fields I need for onboarding: name, company, email, service purchase, start date. Missing fields will just be blank in later steps, and then you're filling them in by hand, which defeats the point. Now click Test Trigger. If it doesn't find any sample data, open your form in another tab, submit a test entry with real-looking info, come back and test again. Once Zapier pulls in that data, you'll see the fields populate. Scroll through and confirm everything you need is here. If a field shows up empty that you know should have a value, fix your form first before adding any actions. I've wasted a whole afternoon chasing a broken step that was just a missing form field. Okay, Trigger is pulling client info. Next, let's get that client into your CRM. Click the plus button below the trigger, search for your CRM, HubSpot, Salesforce, Pipedrive, whichever. Choose Create Contact because you want a new person record. Map the fields, first name and last name from Typeform, go to the corresponding CRM fields. Email maps to email, and double check you haven't accidentally mapped the name into the email field. That's the kind of mistake that'll silently fail later. I usually add the company name and any custom fields like service purchased if the CRM supports it. Click Continue, then Test Action. You'll see a success message, and if you jump over to your CRM, you'll find the test contact sitting there. Now we need a centralized client record outside the CRM, somewhere your whole team can see the project details. Add another action, search for Google Sheets or Airtable. I'm using Google Sheets. Choose Create Spreadsheet Row, pick the spreadsheet and worksheet. I name mine Client Onboarding Master. Map the fields across: client name, company, email, service, project type, start date, any notes. This is where a lot of people just map whatever and leave the rest blank, but I always take the extra minute to column match everything because this sheet becomes your source of truth. Test the action and confirm the row appears with all the data. Your team needs to know the second a new client drops. Add an action, search Slack, choose Send Channel Message. Pick the channel. I use an onboarding updates channel so it doesn't get buried in general. In the message text, use the dynamic fields from the trigger. I write something like, new client onboarded, client name, company, service purchased, start date. You can add emoji for a bit of visual pop if you want, but keep it scannable. Test this and you'll see the notification pop up in Slack instantly. Next, tasks. Add an action, search your task tool. I'm using ClickUp here, but Asana, Monday.com, Trello all work. Choose Create Task. For the task title, I put Onboard and then the client name from the dropdown. In the description, I include the service purchased, project details, start date, and the assigned account manager. Map the assignee to the right person or a team role. Test it and you'll see the task land in your project list. One thing I've learned, if you use a task template in your project tool, you can reference that here, but if not, at least include the onboarding checklist right in the description so nobody has to go hunting for it. Now the welcome email. Add an action, search for your email app. I'm using Gmail. Choose Send Email. Subject line: Welcome, then the first name dynamic field, we're excited to work with you. Body: Hi first name, thanks for choosing company name for service purchase, your project starts on start date. Then I add next steps, the assigned contact person, and any helpful links. All of this is live text mixed with dynamic fields from the trigger, so it feels personal. Test this action and you'll get that email in your inbox. At this point, the core workflow is running, but you might want to follow up after a few days. Add a step, search Delay by Zapier, choose Delay Until, and pick the start date field from your trigger. If that date might be blank, I also set a fallback, like delay for 7 days, so the automation doesn't stall. After the delay, you can add more actions, but for now, I'll keep it simple. And just like that, trigger, CRM, record, notification, tasks, email, delay. That's a full onboarding chain. Before we publish, I run through each test again quickly. Trigger is good, HubSpot contact created, Sheets row is there, Slack message sent, task assigned, email delivered. No red errors. Now give the Zap a descriptive name, something like Client Onboarding, Typeform to CRM, Sheets, Slack, Tasks, Email. That saves you later when you have 20 Zaps. Click Publish, the Zap is live. Now do the final real test. Submit a fresh entry through your form and wait for Zapier to process it. You'll see the task history tick through each action. If something fails, Zap history shows exactly which field tripped it up. I'd always check that the CRM contact is there, the sheet row exists, the Slack message fired, the task is assigned, and the email arrived. A couple of things that'll catch you next. If you have different onboarding flows for different services, you can add a path step right after the trigger to branch based on the service field. That's your next move once this is solid. Also, if a step breaks later, it's almost always a mapping issue caused by a form field getting renamed or removed. So if you ever update your intake form, retest the Zap immediately. And if you're on a free Zapier plan, keep an eye on task usage, because this workflow eats several tasks per submission. You might need to upgrade or combine some actions into one step, like using a single email with multiple recipients instead of separate notifications. But for most teams, this setup transforms onboarding from a half hour of clicking to zero. If this helped you get your workflow running, hit like, subscribe so you catch the next one, and leave a comment saying it was helpful. Comments are what push this to other people looking for the same thing.